Well, I think we're live. Welcome. For those who haven't joined yet, I'll say welcome again in a bit. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We have cracked 1,380, and I'd like to thank you. Yes, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You subscribed. Thank you so much. I didn't think I'd see the day, honestly. So many times I thought I was going to give up. I said I'm too old for YouTube. But here I am. All right. I got to talk about quite a few things. If you're not from the New England area, New England, you may not know this, but every state besides the live free or die state, New Hampshire, that's their motto, live free or die. Every state in New England has legalized cannabis for adults, not just medical, but recreational. And we're going to talk about that because the irony of live free or die motto of New Hampshire, but you go to jail there if you bring enough cannabis into the live free or die state. We got to talk about MrBeast and Dr. Doom, Victor Von Doom, Robert Downey Jr. That's what we're going to talk about today on the live. But before we get into all the news, Sugar Ray Leonard, I forgot to look it up. The word of the day is Mnuchin. Don't be a Mnuchin, okay? Steve Mnuchin was the Secretary of the Treasury, and if you have a recent printed 2017 $2 bill, you'll see his signature, and some friends and I were speaking today about how that last name, I don't know, you just got to change it if your last name is Mnuchin. Mnuch. So don't be a Mnuch. Reschedule cannabis. Amen, Bandito. Bandito, did you see my message on Discord? I don't mean to turn this into like a private conversation between us, but I sent you a message on Discord because I can't resend you an invite. Every time I search for you in Fortnite, it does not appear. So send me one. I sent you my info. Yeah, I sent you my info on the Discord direct message or whatever they call it on there. So you could send me an invite so we could play. Because I think I'm going to do some more streaming on this channel, some video game streaming. Just because I had to take down my video because it got copyrighted, the one that you watched the other day streaming Fortnite. I got to change the settings so I don't get copyright stricken. And when you stream Fortnite, there are like, you know, copyrighted songs in it. So I got to change the settings so I could just stream and have fun. But yeah, so we're going to talk about some news, but the word of the day, don't be a Mnuch. A Mnuch. That is such a funny last name. I wonder where it derives from. You know that name, because like certain names like Thompson, son of Tom, certain last names, you know. Certain last names are cool, like certain like Russell Crowe, if that's even his last name. But you obviously know he descended from crows. Tom's son was Tom's son. What the hell's a Mnuch? A Mnuch. Dustin Noon. The real Dustin. I'm glad that you clarified. This is the real Dustin Noon. Have you heard of Just Gooby? Kids should be protected. Worst human on the planet. No, I do not know. And I'm kind of concerned about that. I can't Google stuff while I'm live streaming, so. But yes, reschedule cannabis. We're going to talk about all this stuff today. But I just wanted to highlight the last name Mnuchin. I don't think he was a good dude. That's what I wanted to look up before because I forget. I remember he was all over the news and he talked like, he looks like what AI thinks humans look like. That's what Mnuch looks like. If you look him up, he's just very generic AI generated treasury person. Jay Vaughn, what is going on? Smiley face heart right back at you. So if you could, what I was saying before is I didn't realize I was ever going to hit 1,380 subscribers, but here we are. I need to thank you because I'm floored. I'm very grateful. And if you could hit subscribe and the notification bell, I love when people join the chat when I go live. And I go live doing news commentary every single weekday, Monday through Friday. And even when America decides to make the 3-day work week a thing, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or sorry, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll still go 5 days. Hey, Kathy Capucci, what's up? What's up, kid? Good to see you. You know where I just was? Bunghole Liquors. I forget if you're North Shore or not. I was just at Bunghole Liquors picking up a lotto ticket. That's a real place. If you're not from New England or North Shore, Massachusetts, we have a liquor store called Bunghole Liquors. I should have taken a picture of it. I think Kevin James, when they were filming Hubie Halloween here, he put a picture. Yo, in Boston, Dunn McD? Dunn McD? Are you Crocodile Dunn McD? Love that name. God, I love the names in here. It is 66 degrees. Yeah, you know it. You know it. You know it, Kathy. Good to see you, by the way. It's been a while. It is, somebody said it was cold today. I'm like, 66 is absolutely perfect. And we're going to get into the news. Don't worry. This is why I go, brr, Kathy, get out of here. Get brr. Come on. You're lying. You're lying. Listen, in January and February, when the weather cracks 40 degrees, you'll see people in New England go outside in shorts. Because I'm one of them. Greetings, sir. Are you ready for reverse hyperkinetic particle matrix awareness? Who isn't ready for that, Grayman 365? 66 is perfect. Thank you. Right? I mean, it's rainy, it's drizzly, but this is like, you know, it's great for manual labor. There's a fellow working class person. Like, yo, when I was working construction, these were the ideal days where it wasn't raining all day, but it would drizzle a little bit. Compared to yesterday, by the way, yesterday it was like 90 something here. The weekend was like in the 90s. That is like, Florida's 93 with 60% humidity. Yeah, yes, Crocodile Dunn McD, if you don't mind me calling you that. It's totally out of respect. My brother moved down to Florida, and it is unbearable. In fact, he tries to take the kids out, like he has to wait till certain times of the day to bring the kids out, because he keeps complaining that they build so many outdoor playgrounds and parks in Florida, but none of them have shade. And he said you'd think they'd just automatically build shade for certain playgrounds because it's so hot. Thank you, Dunn McD, Crocodile Dunn McD. I don't mean to rename you, but it's just, that's what my mind does. 77 Icky. I absolutely love you guys' freaking YouTube names. This is my favorite thing ever. This is why I go live, by the way. If you're new to the channel, I go live every weekday. I talk about news, entertainment, and I do commentary on it. So we talk about a little bit of everything. Always try to include the chat, because 77 Icky, how did you come up with that? That is brilliant. And thank you, like the facial hair. Yeah, I just haven't shaved in like 3 weeks. I didn't take my meds today. Neither did I. MRF30. You can go at 12 o'clock midnight in Florida and still sweat within 1 minute. Yeah. You need a new name. I don't know. Kathy Capucci. That name brings down the hammer. Let me tell you. But yes, it's always fun to get clever with your name and rebrand yourself here on YouTube. All right. So for those of you who are not from New England, I want to bring this up because I think I wrote an open letter to the governor of New Hampshire a while ago. My open letter concerned him, his old white crusty ass, and all his politicians in the New Hampshire House, because somehow, and this is also just a public service for everybody, I've made shorts on this on my YouTube channel, because when you drive into New Hampshire, if you've never driven into New Hampshire, as soon as you cross the border, the imaginary line that dictates you're in New Hampshire, they have a big sign that says, "Welcome to New Hampshire, live free or die." And that sign is preposterously wrong. It is an absolute lie. Because if I was driving to New Hampshire with, 10 pounds of weed, I wouldn't be living free. They would try to bury me under the jail, the prison, whatever. And I wrote an open letter, Capuch. Yeah, there we go. I like that. See if that's free. If somebody might have that on YouTube, you'd be amazed at how many people have the handles. Icky is my nickname. Yeah, 77 Icky. I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Trump or hair ass. Sergeant Peters, we did this yesterday. I don't like either of them. I don't like neither. I don't like the top cop or the convict. And usually I side with the convicts. I just don't like liars. So neither. But thanks for joining, Sergeant Peters. I'm for the people. That's what I'm for. So, New Hampshire. The only state in New England, and if you don't know what, it was weird to me when I lived out in Southern California, they didn't understand what New England was. They were like, is that like New Jersey and Pennsylvania? Some people would argue with me. I was like, bro, I grew up there. How are you going to argue with me? No, it is Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine. That is the New England region, okay? And all of those states, it's fully legal recreational cannabis. I'm like 20 feet, 700 feet, sorry, it's on the billboard, 700 feet from a cannabis shop right now, okay? And society hasn't collapsed. Except the only state where it's not recreational, where you're not a legal adult to use cannabis, is New Hampshire. And ironically, their motto is live free or die. So I wrote an open letter to the governor, said, you know, you're corrupt. He's openly said, if you put any bill, and this was a few years ago, but he openly said, you put any cannabis bill, I'm going to shoot it down. My folks ain't going to have it. They're old white dudes. They think it's a drug. It's not. It's more healthy than ibuprofen. Healthier, not more healthy. Jeez, what's wrong with me? Damn, I'm learning something today. I didn't even know that. I thought Massachusetts was the only New England. See, Crocodile Dun McD? You learned something on this live stream. I hope to teach you more. But yes, that is the New England region. And the only state, ironically, that doesn't let you live free when it comes to cannabis is the live free or die state. But today we take a giant step forward. Today, Governor Sununu, which I call them Governor Sonono. Not that funny, but if he's going to say no to cannabis, Governor Sonono. I don't know how they keep him in power. When is the next election? Because everything I read, the polling was like 70% of New Hampshire wants to legalize cannabis. And why not? Think about this. Even Canada has recreational cannabis legal. So if you live in New Hampshire and drive into any other state or country, it's all legal surrounding you. You're the only state where you're technically a criminal. But today, Governor Sununu signed something saying that any physician can recommend cannabis as a prescription to an ailment. So I just wanted, because I've given him a hard time, I think that's a huge step forward that he signed that. I still don't like him. I still think he's an old crusty ass white dude and he shouldn't be in power. But at least he signed that. I think he's feeling the pressure. And I say, good for the people of New Hampshire. You're finally paving your way into 2024. Every 2 years for local government election. Yeah, I should have known that. That's true. I don't know how they haven't kicked him out. He must be doing something good, or he must be on the take. Kelly Iotti is the word. I know that name. I just don't know who she is. What's the topic? What's up, Lemon Cartoon? We're talking about cannabis in New Hampshire. How New Hampshire is the only state in New England, out of Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts, that cannabis is not legal recreationally. Even Canada has it legal recreationally. So every border to New Hampshire, it's legal except New Hampshire. And New Hampshire's motto is live free or die. How funny is that, right? Because it's a lie. It's a fucking lie. And I've made shorts on that because I've driven by the sign, filmed it while I'm screaming, you're a liar. That sign is a liar. I can't live free or die here. So that's what we're talking about right now. I don't know when the state's last election. I only say I know that because I ran for mayor of my last town. His daddy's selling a $47 million home on an island in the tropics. Oh, he's one of them. He's one of those for the people, by the people, right? I love that. That's why I hate our political system, because as soon as they become politicians, they become hundred millionaires, and these people do nothing but pad their own pockets. They do not care about us. They are just being unique. Yes. So before I touch upon the Victor Von Doom, if you don't know the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this is interesting because they're lazy. The biggest cinematic universe, is this the only? This can't be the only cinematic universe. The one that's branded the most. The biggest one, I think, monetarily, maybe Avatar beat them. But I mean, $1 billion industry, or cinematic universe, a very, 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 very big moneymaker for Hollywood, is lazy AF. So lazy. I talked about this the other day, but I didn't know how many people agreed with me. I thought I'd get a hard time, or people would give me a hard time about them rehashing Robert Downey Jr., who's 59 years old, by the way, to come out and play another character. We're going to talk about that in a second. But first, I realize I'm out there on a limb when it comes to the MrBeast controversy. And we need ranked choice voting to challenge Bandito 100%. And you know what? Chris Novoselic, the bassist for Nirvana. If you don't know Nirvana, as soon as the live stream's done, go look up the band Nirvana, my favorite band ever. Kurt Cobain, God bless. Chris Novoselic was pushing in Seattle for a ranked choice voting. And he had done, I think he had done some TV interviews. It's on YouTube. And he was pushing for ranked choice voting. And I love Chris so much. On my birthday last year, I wrote him a letter. I found his his P.O. box. I wrote him a letter just thanking him for all he's done, for his political activism, for the music, obviously, and just some other personal stuff. Never thought he'd write back. It was my birthday. I wanted to do something special. I said, I'm going to be a weirdo and write Chris Novoselic of Nirvana. And he sent me a little postcard, personally signed, and wrote me a little note back, which I've never been so happy in my life. Well, no, I've been happy. Like when my kids are born, spending time with my family, I'm that happy. But it was on that caliber of happiness, you know? Like hearing your kids laugh and getting a letter from Chris Novoselic it was quite even that day. I was a little euphoric. So yes, ranked choice voting is a very smart thing to do. They'll never allow it. And I don't want to go into why, but I can't believe he wrote back either. I think I've showed it on here. I got to block out my address and his address, but yeah, I have the post. Well, I tucked it away somewhere in the move, somewhere safe, right next to my Kurt Cobain, pretending to give Ronald McDonald a cigarette photo, which is one of my favorite photos. They say Deadpool's Marvel Jesus. In truth, it's Robert Downey Jr. It is, but Jesus didn't get recast as Judas at some point. You know what I mean? Like, I agree with the logic that you're saying Downey Jr. is the Marvel Jesus. He is. He was Iron Man. They based everything around him. If you don't know, Tony Stark, Iron Man, was played by Robert Downey Jr. I think his movie really kicked off the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He played Iron Man for 10 years, then they killed off his character, and he was brought back. And we'll just talk about that, and we'll get into MrBeast after, because that's a good segue. Thank you, Lemon Cartoon. Good comment. And they just announced at San Diego Comic-Con that he's not being brought back to life. Robert Downey Jr. is just being brought back as Dr. Doom. I guess, I don't know much about Dr. Doom, but from all I've read, he's like one of the biggest villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A lot is based around him. He's a great character, and it just seems so lazy. This is also my issue with MrBeast. When these multi-billion-dollar corporations, companies with the greatest minds make a lazy moves, you know, and it's all just what? To ensure that they get money along with whatever they're producing. They want to make the most amount of money. It's not good enough that they've made, you know, profits. They need to make the most, and that's the most irritating thing. Where's my cookie, Jimmy? You know what's so funny, Lemon Cartoon? So I've been watching, there's a lot of YouTubers making videos reacting and also updating all the controversy with MrBeast. And I saw somebody in the comments somewhere on a like high profile video saying Jimmy owes us all cookies. In fact, I thought it was you at first, Lemon Cartoon, and then I had to go back, rewatch it, and pause it because I think their avatar was yellow. There was something like that, and I was like, holy shit, is that one of, like, you know, the family? Is that someone we know? But so other people are saying it too. So I'm not a crazy person. I am not a crazy person. Other people are noticing it. It's going to catch on. And I've been talking about this for years, and people always just called me a hater. And now the truth is coming to light. So Robert Downey Jr., we're going to get to MrBeast too. I'm sorry I'm going back and forth. I'm sorry. God dang it, Lemon Cartoon. You're bringing me all over the place. I'm just kidding. So Robert Downey Jr. brought in $80 million, I think it's $40 million per movie. They brought the Russo brothers And now there's an article, which, by the way, I link all the articles down in the description, of all the people reacting on the internet, Twitter, XYZ, about how lazy this is. And I thought I was a lone wolf here. I thought because, you know, Robert Downey Jr. is so beloved that most people would just gladly nod along and go along with it. And it turns out they're not. And the funniest thing is that, like Lemon Cartoon was saying, they say Deadpool is Marvel Jesus. Well, Deadpool's Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds was the Green Lantern. I think that was the movie. I'm pretty sure. So he was another superhero. And I think before that, wasn't Ryan Reynolds, was he something else even before that? Just like Captain America, Chris, whatever his name is. I forget his name right now. Chris Evans. Captain America, the guy who plays Chris Evans, the guy who plays Captain America, Chris Evans, who's from Sudbury, Massachusetts. Another shout out to a local masshole. He played, what's that fire guy in the Fantastic Four? He played whatever, Fireflyer. I don't know his name. Again, I'm not that great with the names, but he played Pyro Flyer, whatever that superhero's name is. Somebody knows. So they've been recasting all these people, which I hate, number one, because I say give somebody new a shot. Like Spider-Man. Look at Spider-Man. Every Spider-Man movie outside of the Tom Holland one, they were just recasting people. Some people didn't like it. You know, they did give Tobey Maguire, 3 movies? They gave Andrew Garfield 2 movies, and Tom Holland 3 movies. But it seems like they just kept recasting Spider-Man, which, listen, I say that's awesome. You know, do it. There are certain characters, I get it, like Iron Man, they weren't going to recast, but how are they going to now recast Iron Man as another, you know, pillar of the Marvel Universe? It seems so lazy, but what I think it is, and this is what some other people were saying online too, is the controversy with the Kang character, who got into arrests and accusations and court cases and some gnarly stuff I'm not going to go into. And obviously he cannot play the character as Kang anymore. Marvel don't want to be associated with that. I think this is Marvel, and I said this on the last time I talked about it on the live stream, that this is Marvel going, we're going to go with old reliable. Old, she starts right up and purrs, Robert Downey Jr., because they think that's going to be the easiest cash grab. It's a no-risk thing. Even though Robert Downey Jr. is almost 60 years old? Jesus. That's hard for me to believe. So I don't know if people are into it. I don't know if people care. I'm not a big Dr. Doom fan, but I hate when these huge corporations that have the greatest minds working on issues do that. And now I want to touch upon the MrBeast stuff. I did not know MrBeast was anti-union. And I linked the video down below. Companies run the world, they do, and it sucks. And that's what sucks about the MrBeast story. To see a kid go from like oddball YouTuber to, you know, I don't know what you'd consider him. Capitalist, corporation, conglomerate, powerhouse, industrial tycoon. I don't know what you call MrBeast now, but he ain't, you know, he's rubbish. And the biggest thing for me is, I've been saying he has, since the dawn of his channel, said subscribe for a cookie. I even took a screenshot of one of his videos where he had a poster in the background, subscribe for a cookie, with the cookie next to it. And he turned into like the worst kind of person. And what to me is the worst kind of person is somebody who's anti-union. Just so you know, a union is a group of workers who come together to have power against a big corporation, the people who hold all the power. And when you and your workers come together and form a union, it gives you better leverage. So usually unions have better safety protocols. They always have better pay. They have better health benefits. They have better vacation time. They earn that through bargaining with companies. And the latest news, and again, I linked the video from Spill Sesh on YouTube. I watched the whole video yesterday. I was watching a bunch of them, but this one really irked me. That they were reporting on Jimmy saying, I don't want to have to pay union workers for his new show, Beast Games. He wants the quality of work that union workers do, but he didn't want to pay their health care. That's garbage. Amazon gave Jimmy Donaldson, MrBeast, $100 million to do this show. and he doesn't want to pay people's health package for the union. He ended up getting union workers because he knew that they do better work. He did not pay their health coverage. And now the IATSE, IATSE, which is essentially like the stage people, the TV stage, the people who do productions behind the scenes, they have banned anyone from their union working with MrBeast because not only is he a garbage employer, but he was not paying people what they should have been paid. And it's so hard for me to fathom a dude that got paid $100 million going, I know they do the best work. I want these union employees, but I just don't want to pay them. Meanwhile, he's getting $100 million to do this. Just rubbish. You know, like, this dude pretends to want to help people when the camera's on, and he's the most garbage human when the camera's off. I feel like David Grohl is sellout. Maybe I'm wrong, but I love Nirvana. DG is always talking down Nirvana, off subject. Crocodile McDundee, I'll always talk Nirvana, and I've called out Dave Grohl too. One of my bigger live streams was calling out Dave Grohl for feeding the homeless. And I know that sounds crazy, but, and I think in his mind, he's like, he wants to do it and make no deal about it. But the truth is, it's always hugely reported on. It's everywhere. He gets all this good PR out of it. And my thing with Dave Grohl is like, Dave Grohl, you really want to help the homeless problem? Use your stage to talk about how the system in America is so fucking broken. That would be punk. Dave Grohl claims to be a punk, but it just seems like he's, you know, the mainstream version of Nirvana. So I agree with you. Crocodile Dun McD, 100%. I think Dave Grohl has really come a long way from his punk roots, and it bothers me. And I'm saying this as a huge Dave Grohl fan. His album, his double album, what was it called? Best of You? I don't know if that was what it was called. That saved me. That album saved me after my dad passed away. So I'm saying this as somebody who's a huge fan of his. I say it with no ill intent. I just say it as an honest critique. Like, Dave, why did you want to become the Machine? You know, like, he talks fondly about how him and Kurt were punks at heart, and, you know, that Kurt would do things that were anti-establishment, anti-system for live shows, you know? I've talked about this many times, and I feel like Dave Grohl just wanted to become the biggest mainstream version of Nirvana that he could, and he did. It's absolutely devastating because Dave has the potential to end the stage to speak out against certain issues. And you saw him do this when the pandemic hit. I'll say it like that because I don't know what YouTube is weird about. But when the pandemic hit, he made a video about teachers, how we need to respect and protect and defend teachers because his mom was a teacher, which I thought was cool. But at the same time, I also wondered, Dave, are you just doing this because your mom is a teacher? Like, if she wasn't a teacher, would you even care? Would you have made a video? Bums me out when people are like, oh, it affects me, so then I'll do something. It's like, no, if you believe in something, speak out. If, Dave, you really want to help the homeless, because I would always say he would feed people at the Super Bowl. He would go and cook for this LA homeless shelter. I said, Dave, those people are really grateful for that meal, but if you used your stage, one of your tours, to, like, Rage Against the Machine, we'll use their tours to educate, register people to vote, or whatever, or send letters to free Leonard Peltier. Rage has done plenty of things. I said, Dave, imagine if you used your tour to, you know, fight against how this system, you know, basically promotes homelessness and then criminalizes it. So that really bugs me about Dave Grohl. Green Day, Lemon Cartoon, you don't want to know my thoughts about Green Day. There's a club and we ain't in it. Oh, Croc Dun McD, you know some George Carlin. George Carlin is mandatory listening for my kids before they get out of high school, just so you know. That is forced upon them by me. So you got to listen to this album. Not like any of his weird stuff, but like his political, heady system stuff. Carlin is it. And my daughter, I'll never forget, she was like, that's such a good point about getting rid of graveyards and golf courses because it's just taking up space. So I love that. There's a club and we ain't in it. Yeah, Lemon Cartoon. I don't want to talk about Green Day. I'll say this. When I saw them, I didn't see them, but when I watched their concert in England, one of the big festivals, and they basically had everybody with those heart hands or heart fists. You know, their merchandise was everywhere, their merch, and they were talking about, I forget, some trying to be anti-establishment. I just went the irony of, you know, them becoming the establishment that they're pretending to be against. Now, again, might not be popular. I can't say I know too much about Green Day, but from what I know is just, I don't. They're a manooch. Let's put it like that. His books are great reading. Oh yeah, my mom. Oh my God, I have so many of his books because of my mom. She would always buy me his books. Respect to my mom. All right, so the MrBeast stuff is still continuing to come out. We're waiting for part 2 because I'm going to keep following this because it's so crazy. And yes, part of me will say, you know, I feel vindicated because for years I've called MrBeast lazy for regurgitating content or taking an original game show like Squid Games from Netflix and just redoing it for YouTube. I think that's lazy. And when I interviewed with his company, they said, we have the greatest minds, the most creative minds. We have top world class, they said. And it really bothered me because in the back of my head, I was thinking, if you've got the greatest minds, why are you regurgitating other people's content on YouTube? Like, come up with something that's totally new, not the $101 versus $1 million thing. Like, it's just dumb. It seemed generic, and it seemed clickbaity for little kids just to get more views and more money. And that's how it always came off to me. It always irked me that he would lie and say subscribe for a cookie. And now that he has over 300 million people he owes cookies, I'm starting to see like, oh, he really is not caring about his word. You know, his word means nothing. He doesn't need to be upfront and honest. And with all these allegations of fraud and other things, I'm going to keep following this because part 2 is his Dogpack 404, who's been the one blowing the whistle on this, says I'm gonna have a part 2 video and it's gonna be about his project Seas. I forget what it's called, where they try to clean the ocean. And I had issues with that too, but I've kind of stayed quiet. I didn't have the balls Dogpack 404 had. Let's put that out there. Respect to this kid for just calling it out. Because I've said some of these things and you get some lashback real quick and people call you a hater and want to silence you, and his legion of fans are weird. Because when you just want to critique something, you know, you should be able to do that. And I've had an issue with his Project Seas thing, and I can't wait till that second video comes out. Gotta go back to work. Oh, Kathy, have a great day. I don't know if I missed you, if it's too late, but good to see you. Salute. Don't work too hard, okay? Share your thoughts on My Bloody Valentine and the influence they had on alternative garage and indie music for 20 years. Depeche Mode? Oh my God, that's such a funny name. I love these YouTubers' names, my God. My Bloody Valentine. I know is that the band, or is that My Chemical Romance? And did they do My Bloody Valentine? That kid is, oh, Kathy is still there. All right, have a good one. And remember, don't work too hard. Take your 10, take your 10. Don't forget to take your 10. I really couldn't comment on it. I know that it's absolutely, if that's the My Chemical Romance, My Bloody Valentine, is that Black Parade and all that? Again, I'm a little bit older, so like that was a little bit later. I'm more around like their Nirvana age. Nirvana and Tupac. I can speak to that stuff. I don't want to, you know, talk too much out of my comfort zone, but I do know that if it's what I'm thinking of, then yeah, there's a lot of respect for what they did. And I know their fan base is very, very big. But yeah, I don't know if I could speak to that one. I wish I could. I really wish I could. I'll look it up and double check and stuff, and we can totally talk music. I love doing, this is why I love, oh my God. The truck was getting loud, man. But that's why I love doing these lives, because I like going over the news, but having conversations is fun too. All right, I got to wrap this one up. Was the band that pioneered shoegazing. I don't know what that now, Depeche Mode. You know what? You gave me homework. I got to look this stuff up. I have to look this stuff up. This is why I want to be able to, oh, if you guys could help me, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm not even going to say we're on to 1,390. I'm going to say 1,400. We're going to get to 1,400. And I need your help. So hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I will look it up because this is why I would like to have a better setup for live streaming. So I can pull stuff up and we could just have conversations about it. Because I have a feeling I do know, but it ain't coming to me, so I ain't gonna make a comment yet. Lemon Cartoon 40, good to see you. Always doing God's work. You too. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I would love for you guys to join me again. This is so much more fun when people are up in the chat. So I thank you very much. Much respect. Have a great day, and I will be back tomorrow. Remember, live every Monday through Friday. I'm trying to work on this Tony Robbins video. It's just, I'm struggling with it. I gotta make another video. Later, Derpesh Mode. Love the name. It's so funny. Love the name. All right, guys. Peace.